Welcome to the special edition of the Moms Convo Series, where we honor strength, healing, and the power of mother's love. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and today's episode touches my heart. And I've had the privilege of walking alongside Lala and her son Gabe for many, many years. And I have witnessed Lala's unwavering dedication, the quiet sacrifices she has made, and the deep love she's poured into raising her son Gabe. And through every challenge, she has remained rooted in hope and resilience. And our episode today is called Healing Together, a Mother's and a Son's Journey Through Pain, Art, and Strength. Lala is a survivor of emotional, physical, and psychological abuse, but she didn't just survive. She reclaimed her voice, her power, and her peace. And with the support from organizations like Domestic Violence Solution, Lala made courageous choices to protect herself and Gabe, creating a new life rooted in healing and hope. And now I'm so honored to have her and her son, Gabe, who is on the autism spectrum, and he is thriving. He's incredibly talented healing artist preparing to graduate high school next year and step into the next chapter of his journey, which is college. So it's an absolute honor to share their story with you. Please join me welcoming Lala and Gabe. Welcome, Gabe. Welcome, Lala. I'm so happy to have you here today.
You.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Wow. So I know you've had a amazing, I won't say amazing, a journey. And and I've been part of that journey, just witnessing. And Lala, please tell me what it's been like, walking through this journey with Gabe and the healing that you've had to look and, both of you over the years. What did that look like?
Well, I'm sure that Gabe would agree that, as a mother, my journey is, with this particular journey has been shaped by both trauma and transformation. And I'm so thankful for the transformation. Raising Gabriel meant navigating systems that weren't built for our safety during that time, but we were able to find community in which now we are safe. And we're thankful for that. It meant witnessing the emergence of a deeply compassionate, creative soul, such as himself, who leads with integrity and joy. And healing for us hasn't been linear. It's looked like late night art sessions, sensory safe places, and learning to name what hurts us without carrying any shame. And it coming out in a way of reclaiming our story, reclaiming our voice, and a sense of creativity. And so the journey's been a creative journey, and it's also been a journey of growth and inspiration and definite transformation. And so we're very, very grateful for that.
Well, I could definitely see the love that you two have. And I'm sure both of you together have been able to walk, even though it's been a challenging and difficult journey for the two of you. But what message do you have to other moms, or just, other folks who might feel silent or discouraged? And right, we're talking about, you just said reclaiming your voice. What kind of message would you say to our audience who maybe experience domestic violence?
I would say that I know that a lot of mothers and even men as well hear that they're not alone. But when you're walking through it and you're going through the process, it could feel like you're alone and your voice can feel dim. It could feel like you're on mute and no one's really hearing anything that you have to say. It's a process, and there will be a time or a specific season in which your story can be shared or your silence is now broken and you're able to not just reclaim your voice but reclaim the layers, reclaim the areas of your life that you felt like were lost. And what I would share is to journal, definitely journal as much as you can. Remember the process. Don't forget it, because the process is actually what's making you. And know that the journey that you're walking on, even in the midst of you feeling in that moment that you're not being heard, there is going to be somebody that needs to hear your story. There is going to be somebody that needs to be freed from your story. And no matter no matter the degree of your story, know that your story matters, your voice matters no matter what. So I would share that silence is not the answer. Silence is keeps you like a prisoner of war. It doesn't really give you the liberation that you need. And breaking free of that silence and allowing yourself the space to process through the silence, it will give you a new defined meaning of the strength and the resilience that you actually carry. Because through the silence, it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's quiet. You can hear everything around you in the midst of that quietness because you want to be heard, you want to be understood, and you're reviewing your life like, who could possibly understand this process? But trust and believe there will be a community of people that will be waiting to hear your story, that can understand your process, that do understand the process that you're walking through. So I would say to everyone who's listening, know that silence is not carried in shame.
Mm.
Process in the silence, and there's a process in your voice, and your voice does matter. Every voice matters.
Every voice does matter. And I know you talked about journaling and like what's like one step? I know for you it was asking for help, right? You stepped out. One of the ways to step out of silence is to ask for help. And I know you did that. And I mentioned earlier Domestic Violence Solutions was one of the organizations, right, that kind of help you. So what does it mean to you today? You know, you talked about reclaiming your voice, but what does that really like mean to you? Is it freedom? Is it, helping others? What does that mean to you? Because that's what we're saying. Your voice matters.
Yeah, I think just like you said, reaching out for help, like that was the biggest step. And domestic violence solutions, I think, showed us both like there's no shame in asking for help. And when you're in that place of silence, you feel trapped.
Mm,
And reclaiming your voice, what does it look like? It looks like learning life over. The life that you thought you knew that was your life is no longer your life,
mm,
because that life was shaped in silence. That life was shaped in the abuse. That life was shaped in a different dynamic that is now foreign to you. And I would say that was one of the best tools that domestic violence solutions taught us, is that you're now unlearning the
mm.
old and learning into the new, and it's new. So every
Very.
step that you take, even it's one step at a time, when you agree, it's new. So because you're used to being on this cycle over and over and over again, and domestic violence solutions is really good at, like, getting in there like a surgeon and just peeling everything back, with appropriate doses of anesthesia so you could be through the, like, proper recovery. But just reclaiming that center and knowing that asking for help is not a dirty word. Asking for help is not shameful.
Yeah.
Asking for help isn't weakness. You have communities like Domestic Violence Solution that can help you walk through that process to let you know that you should ask for help. You asking for help could save your life. You asking for help could save somebody else's life.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that whatsoever. So I hope I answered your question.
You
Just
did, and I want to thank you for your being very courageous and sharing your voice. As you said, there is no shame in speaking up and breaking the silence and asking for help. So thank you for sharing your story with us, Lala. Now I'd like to move on to Gabe. Gabe, I know that art has become a very important part of your life. So tell me, when did you start creating and how has that helped you in your healing and actually we're talking about voice matters, but how are you doing that through your art?
I started drawing really at the age of 5. Some even say younger. Um, but it became my primary outlet for not only processing the good, but also the setbacks, and also I guess sometimes it was called an adventure. So
Mm,
adventure sometimes it would be expressed through art, and I'd use art to I guess find ways for people to relate to a situation, or I guess make it easy to understand and easy to break down so that not only can the average victim see it, but the average person in general can see it because everyone deserves to know.
So through your art, you were able to actually speak through your art. It sounds like your art was a way for you to speak out about what was happening to you, and just through that, you were able to heal from that.
Yes.
Great. So what would you tell other teens that may be in your situation? I mean, you said you started, drawing at the age of 5, but if someone doesn't, like a teen doesn't have like an art as an outlet, what suggestion would you have for other teens who may be in the same situation, and what they might be able to do to
Honestly,
heal?
find what works for you. Sometimes it's video games, sometimes it's sports, sometimes it's taking a walk outside, or whatever floats your boat. Um, just finding what's healthy for you is what helps you, and that's what makes each person special.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm really excited. I can't believe you've just grown so much to be as this a young man who's just, wow, your voice, and I'm just so proud of you, Gabe. And just tell us a little bit about your dreams. I can't believe it. You're going to be graduating next year and you're going to college. So, what does life look like beyond? I know your mom just said that you guys had to rebuild your life through this, when you started reclaiming your voice. So, what is your dream, your future? What are you looking for in the near future?
What I see in the future is not only more art, but also spreading the same hope and inspiration that I've always spread, not only to teens, but also young adults and even eventually adults with not only domestic violence and issues with neurodivergence, autism, ADHD, but just, helping everyone. Because, everyone has an issue. No one's perfect, but you know what? That's what makes us kind of, I guess, special in a way.
Yeah, I say we are perfectly imperfect, and we all, so I really love your mission and what you're up to and what you want to do. And I know, like I said, I've just seen you grown into a very, young man who's just wow. I'm just so proud of you. So Lala, in closing, or both of you, what would you like to say? I mean, this is just the beginning. I know this is the Mompreneur or Moms Convo series, where it's just we're a touch of an interview, but we're going to be, really sharing your story in the near future. I'm really looking forward with that. But what would you like to say in closing?
I would like to say that there's a creative force in all of us, and domestic violence tends to diminish that. But through, grounding your spiritual, like whatever someone's belief system is, God, whatever, um, find your creative space, because through your creative space, you can heal. And I know that just I'm super excited. Like, we've spent this past year just kind of like taking a pause, taking a break, and I've just been enjoying being in mommy mode and us going through the different layers of healing, which that's the other dynamic to TV that a lot of the audience should be aware is that's a whole separate process within itself, healing. So having a good community. And then I know that we're looking forward to all of the new ventures that we have that are going to be starting to spread awareness. And yes, I am looking forward to sharing more of our story. And everything else is more of coming soon. I don't want to say too much, but I'm super, super excited about what the future holds, is what I will say.
Thank you. And what about you, Gabe? What would you like to say in closing?
I'd just like to say that it always gets better. You're not alone, and you are loved. If you're in a bad situation right now, well, someone's gonna turn it around eventually. It's you know, I guess life is a life of up and down. It's never kind of like what my mom said, linear. Um, but you know what? That's what makes life life. And I feel like sometimes it's those, I guess, setbacks that makes life different, but it also prepares you to be stronger for the things that are ahead. So with that said, I think just staying strong and never giving up is the most important above all.
I
So
love that. Stay strong. Never give up and you are loved, right? Is this unfortunately some people are we are in situations, but you are loved. So thank you for that message. So I just want to thank you, Lala and Gabe, for joining me today on the episode of Mom's Convo. And we're going to go ahead and close out our session today. But please join us in our next episode coming soon. I'm Michelle Wilson with Mom's Convo. Bye bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.